Okay, so now here's why the story has legit legs. I want to jump into something that's a report that's like a legit legs. This is from CBS News, and they had experts go over, and I don't want to like just jump on top of their reporting. I'm going to show this because you might not see it otherwise, and then I'm going to add my commentary as we go along too, because I'm not one of these people like Hamas Abi who steals content and then goes and takes a shit. But hit the like, share the show, etc., etc. Now, this is a report that they did, this is their news analysis of the report that was released and the holes that are in it. And this is fucking fascinating. And I learned a couple of things from this, very important details that weren't available up till now, insofar as I know from anywhere that I had looked about this stuff. And one of them is just the range of this camera and how little it actually shows. It shows even less than they say. Okay, so check this out.
This month, the Federal Bureau of Investigation released the primary video used in the investigation of the death of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Deputy Director of the FBI, Dan Bongino, described
here looking like a tweaker trying to lie about there are no bodies in my crawl space and you don't even have a warrant that covers the basement.
that video on Fox and Friends just weeks before its release.
I'm telling you, doesn't look, I trust him. I don't know about you. I can see why Megyn Kelly would throw all in on Bongholio over here, who is looking for a TV for his bungholes.
There's video that when you look at the video, and we will release, that's what's taken a while on this.
There's video that when you look at the video,
we are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans.
They have not released the original. Just, Hassan is anti-war. No, he isn't.
You're going to see there's no one there but him. There's video clear as day. He's the only person in there and the only person coming out. You can see it.
No, you can't. Think about this. This is what this asshole said, having seen the video we saw, and then he released it. Listen to that again.
So you don't think there were any shenanigans. You're going to see there's no one there but him. There's video.
There's no one there but him. Okay. No, you're not. There's lots of people around.
Clear as day. He's the only person in there and the only person coming out. You can see it.
No, you can't. Now, there are two possibilities here. One, he's lying his ass off and he's like, that should cover it, this little sliver right here. Or, and this is a very strong possibility, I am not ruling this out as all. As a matter of fact, Occam's rubber mallet being what it is, Bongholio, as we watched on his show, is so fucking dumb. We have seen him watch a video, play a clip, watch it with us, and get it completely wrong. Like, invert the meaning of it, totally screw up what it actually says, right? Okay? So it is very possible that Bongholio is so fucking stupid that he thinks that's Epstein's door. Or that one of these. Clear as fucking day. Honestly. I honestly think, like, at one point he watched this and he was like, oh, the door's right there. That's the door. You're like, no, motherfucker. His door's up behind here. These are the stairs that right there. That's not it. That's a door out to service area, and this is like a fucking closet. No. And these stairs are like blocked with chairs or some shit, but like, no, you can't see it. But honest to God, I think Bongholio is so fucking dumb that he glanced at this and went, you can see the door right there. Nobody went in and out. Like, I think that's all he did. He just glanced at it and went, oh, we got the fucking video. There it is. Bang. That's how he thought, because he's so fucking dumb. Now, since that Fox News interview, I think he's learned by hook or by crook that isn't the fucking door. I think between then and now, and maybe then and when he was screaming at Pam Bondi to release a bunch more shit, that he went, oh, that's not his, you know what I mean? Like he's freaking out that he went on Fox News and basically went, there it is. Like he's this close in that piece to having brought a clip of this himself and going, you could see the door. There it is. Like if they had allowed him to take a still frame from this, he'd have done it because he's that fucking dumb. And then when they finally gave him the video and it came out and the rest of the world went, that's not his door. Not his door at all. Like nobody. I mean, we know he came and went. He made a phone call, and nobody comes in and out of that door. And that door isn't like the whole world was like, that's not his door. And at some point, I gotta believe that that's why Bongino just fucking disappeared and hid, because how fucking embarrassing is that? Because the next interview, Fox News, whoever the Fox News dudes that watch my show, hi. The next time you interview Bongino, tell him I call him that, and ask him if he's threatening me. Show a still of this, and go real quick. Did you actually think that was Jeffrey Epstein's door? It seems like when you were here last time, when you were talking to us, you thought that was his fucking door, dummy. It's so good. Check this out.
We showed this video to multiple video forensics experts who agreed what the FBI and others have said is simply not true.
Oh, by the way, can I just... Yeah, simply not true. Do you notice that they walk people across the floor right where it is impossible to see their fucking face? The banister, like not 2 feet this way, not 2 feet that way, where you could see their head.
Experts
Look
who
at
agreed
this.
what the FBI and others have said is simply not true. That
Look at
video
that.
and other evidence led to the conclusion by the government that Epstein's
Like until their face is past. Jesus.
death on August 10th, 2019 was suicide. An analysis in consultation with video forensic experts suggests multiple inconsistencies between statements from government
That doesn't look like Jeffrey Epstein.
officials, including Bongino. A report from the Department of Justice's Office of the Inspector General into Epstein's death, released in 2023,
And now you know why Trump wants to fire all the inspector generals.
and the tape
Inspectors general.
itself. These inconsistencies, while not contradicting the conclusion Epstein died by suicide,
Well, yeah, it does, because there's no clear as day in this. So until it's clear as day in a situation like this, it absolutely contradicts it. Okay, then also where the motherfucker was they were breathing for him when he left. Nobody does that with a dead body. You just wheel the dumb motherfucker out so you can see his face. You don't cover his face with a fuck. Oh, sorry.
do introduce questions that the government so far has declined to answer.
Well, can't answer.
We'll show you those in a moment. First, let's break this all down.
Oh, let's break it down.
Epstein was
Oh. Sorry.
held at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Lower Manhattan in a unit separate from the general population known as the Special Housing Unit, or SHU. The unit has 3 wings, each with 2 levels. Epstein was held in the upstairs L tier of his wing.
This is, by the way, where the camera is, right here. That's where the camera is.
That tier is accessed by a set of stairs from the central common area. Directly adjacent to those stairs is the
By the way, the stairs, this is where I made a mistake before. I thought these stairs were like a double stair that went that way, like they jagged up. And so anybody going through this one, you would see them kind of going up and then they cross over to a second set. Nope, just one set of stairs going up, one set of stairs going down. So this set of stairs where you would see somebody's, like the orange, that's somebody fucking leaving. I'm getting ahead of myself.
officer's station, where on-duty corrections officers spend most of their time. The Inspector
Yeah, when they're not sleeping or surfing the internet. Yeah.
General report says several cameras in the unit were streaming a live feed to a remote location in the prison, but no one was watching them.
Now, heretofore, I was always under the impression that someone was watching them, but they weren't recorded. According to this report and the report from the Inspector General, nobody was watching them at all. Not even, I think, the guards down at this table. They were. I was under the impression that these guys had like, you know, a couple of monitors here so they could check on people or at least see the hallways. But why would they if they're just walking around? It's a secure facility. Once you're inside, you're inside. So it makes sense that they wouldn't have monitors there. But just in case, right? It's a special housing unit, perhaps.
Malfunctioning equipment meant only one camera recorded the general area.
Yes, the one least likely, other than I suppose this one. Like the only one worse would have been this one, which I think would have been a little on the nose. If that one had been working, or this one over here had been working, right there, game over.
That camera captured part of the common area, including the officer's station and
the area below its visibility point where these stairs are.
a sliver of the staircase leading to Epstein's cell. The
Sliver of the staircase.
footage begins at 7:40 p.m. the night before Epstein's death. You can see staff and inmates moving about, preparing for the nightly lockdown. That's the officer's station in the background. Only 2 employees.
No monitors, just a fucking desk. Like, I think there's a computer monitor there, but it's not like they're not seeing the cameras that are around. And maybe there's a point to that. Like, you don't want the prisoners to know what angle you can see so they can use it or whatever.
Employees have been publicly
Not that you couldn't fucking figure it out.
identified. Tova Noel, a corrections officer pulling a double shift that began at 4 p.m., and Michael Thomas, a materials handler who won't arrive until midnight. Epstein is seen for the first and only time on camera at 7:49 p.m. when the department.
Yeah, there he is. That's him. You can see him, can't you? What was the phrase, Bongholio? Clear as day? Jesus Christ, this is embarrassing.
of Justice said he was escorted to his cell from another wing of the unit. It's important to note here, you don't actually see Epstein ascend the stairwell to his cell block.
That's right. Who says he was ever there?
Remember what Dan Bongino said.
There's video clear as day. He's the only person in there and the only person coming out. You can see it.
Let's zoom in and play that again in slow motion. Here's the sliver of stairs. Epstein is here with his escort, and they walk off screen. When the FBI
Yeah, you don't actually see him go up the goddamn steps.
released the video, they said anyone entering or attempting to enter the tier where Epstein's cell was located from the common area would have been captured by this footage. But with the primary entrance here, the pathway from the entrance to the stairs is completely out of view of the camera. For the
Yes. God! Completely. Like the primary entrance, the door to the fucking wing, and all the way to his, like, if a federal employee who had a right to be there or no right to be there, or a fucking, like, CIA guy, if they entered, they'd enter through that downstairs door and be completely hidden. And it's not, like, if they'd just put him across from the steps, somebody down the steps could have seen up into his room, but they literally put him in like the kitty corner right there, and right there next to the steps, so you don't have to walk past everybody else and back. Jesus Christ, this is the laziest murder for hire I've ever seen.
next hour or so, corrections officers and inmates are seen moving about, preparing for all prisoners to be locked down. At 8:21, another inmate is seen being escorted toward the stairs leading to Epstein's cell area. No movement is detected on the stairs again. By 8:24, all of the inmates appear to have been taken to their cells.
Appear to have been. Doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
Noel told the Inspector General she visited Epstein's cell at about 10 p.m. You can see her head in that direction here, albeit closer to 10:30, but not climb the stairs.
Right. Because you couldn't see anybody go up and down the stairs. Holy shit. Clear as day. Hey, maggots who support Trump even though he was friends with Epstein for 25 fucking years. How many murders for hire have you seen? I've never actually seen them play out except in true crime videos, Sue. I've watched a lot of those things, like when people sit there and they work out the deal, and it's always in a cop or an FBI undercover pretending to be the hitman, and they work it out or whatever, right? And then I guess, does Law and Order criminal intent count? I mean, it's got Vincent D'Onofrio in it, and, he's awesome, so.
The rules require rounds to be made every 30 minutes, but according to the report, this was the only time anyone checked on the inmates that night.
Anybody could have hung themselves. It could have been a Spandau ballet in that place.
There was even a sign printed on orange paper posted on the guard station saying mandatory rounds must be conducted every 30 minutes on Epstein, as per God. This was because of concerns about his risk for suicide.
Also, they misspelled mandatory, and somebody underlined it and put a question mark. Mandatory. Mandatory? Obviously, they were crossing their T's and dotting their I's, every hour on the hour. Mandatory. Yeah. Apparently, God can't fucking spell.
As per God.
Oh, maybe that's why it says manna. Sorry. It's mandatory from heaven.
God. This was because of concerns about his risk for suicide. At 10:38 p.m., the report says someone, probably Noel, carries a
No. I'm not doing probably with fucking anybody that you can't see their face because of a goddamn banister. Somebody probably. No. Somebody, probably a ninja. How about that?
bundle of bedding or clothing up the stairs. It's a rare instance the video does catch movement on the stairs, but barely. Let's see that zoomed in and in slow motion again. Several of the
clear as fucking day. Clear as day.
The video forensic experts we spoke with were skeptical about
Bongholio. You, sir, are an assholio. You are looking for tipi for your bunghole. Tipi. Titi-kaka. Goddamn. Somebody's got to confront him with this. Like, asshole, did you think that was the door? And what the fuck is this? That's the... This looks like a fucking time lapse of the Jerry Lewis telethon thermometer.
the report's conclusion and thought that the video could be showing an inmate walking up the stairs.
You're right. I don't know, with maybe a rope in his hand. Shit.
Authorities say this was the last time anyone approached his cell block until his body was discovered the next morning.
Right. Okay, so more than likely he was killed by an inmate. Cool. All right, settled? Shit.
Again, while the video does not contradict that.
Sorry, why do you call Bongino Bongholio? I don't call him Bonholio. I call him Bongholio. Because he is looking for tipi for his bunghole. Because he is looking for tipi.
Experts who viewed the video say the limited field of view makes it impossible to definitively conclude that no one used those stairs in that time period. Beyond this, there are other issues our investigation and others have uncovered.
Yes, and others, including most of the fucking internet and every maggot who's looked at this video all the way through.
At 11:21 p.m. and 34 seconds, a cursor appears briefly on screen.
Yes, it does. A cursor. Apparently, he was killed. He was clicked and dragged. That's how he died.
11:21 p.m. and 34 seconds, a cursor appears briefly on screen, indicating the video may have been recorded with a camera or a screen recording.
What the heck? Who is calling? Oh, I see. That's funny. Hi, Chris. It's Hal. I'm calling you by accident. My phone called you because I'm looking for a tipi for my bug hole. No, I'm on the show, actually, and my phone thought that me making fun of Dan Bongino was me saying, dial Chris Bono. Love you, brother. Bye. That's so funny. I was like, why is my phone at, like, making this?
Here I am like an idiot.
That was cut out of the video, I think. Trump makes an appearance in the video. All right. So video slowed, looped, and circled. Okay. This is them looping it, by the way. They're letting you know.
And was not an export of the raw file. The FBI said it had seized the prison's hard drive 5 days after his death and had released the full raw footage this month. Two experts
which it fucking did not.
told CBS News the video's metadata, which tracks how a file is created and changed, shows it's made from two clips stitched together in editing.
Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. No, no, no. Two clips, 3 clips total, because a clip is a clip no matter what it's made of. This video is in there twice. Now, why would it matter that there is one copy of this one and 2 copies of this one? Because if you were going to loop and fake something using, think of it as like, you know, when they're doing a movie, I don't know if you know this, but when they record dialogue in a party scene or something like that, or a restaurant or whatever, they do what's called room tone. After everybody's done, when everybody has to shut the fuck up, and then they go getting room tone, they put the boom mic up there, and they catch the sound of the room by itself. The lights buzzing a little bit, you know, just the general, all rooms have sound, the creak of the building, whatever happens. So they get that room tone so that when you're editing later, you can use that audio to patch any shocking points in the edit so that if the audio doesn't match up, you can crossfade it and cover it with room tone. Yeah? Okay. So what you could do in this situation is you have this video and this video you want to stitch together, and you use a copy of this video to stitch it. Okay. Yes, and apparently, yes, Alucius, apparently they think none of us have ever seen a fucking, haven't seen Hudson Hawk, for fuck's sake. Oh, we ain't got a barrel of money. We may be ragged and runny, but we'll travel along, singing a song, side by side.
Software. Those experts also say the video was edited and saved multiple times.
Oh, no, no, no. No, no, no. The experts don't say that. The metadata says that. The experts pointed it out. Okay, experts don't tell you how gravity works. They explain, they show you the evidence that gravity exists and it had this particular impact. They don't need to convince you about gravity every time. Experts didn't tell you anything about that. As a matter of fact, you can fucking see it. They showed it to you. Experts showed us that there were 3 files, right? They showed us that it had been saved, created, save, right?
Next up, the now famous missing minute. At 11:57 and 35 seconds, an individual appears on screen from the direction of the main door. It's likely this is Michael Thomas arriving for his...
Or, again, a ninja.
...midnight shift and replacing the other staff member on duty who'd been working...
Or shooting them in the neck with a Curari dart, and when they pass out, sneaking around, they loop the video to cover for the fact that this is frozen right here where they're just standing there, and then they go back, reassume the position, and then restart the video after they've murdered the dude. Just saying. Is that something you think you could do for $200 million? Do you think you could pay people $500 million to make this happen? How about $1 billion hard currency?
From 4 to midnight. Noel was starting a second shift of 8 hours. From that point on, only Noel and Thomas were on duty during the critical window when Epstein is believed to have died. At 11:58 and 58 seconds, the video jumps to midnight, and the aspect ratio of the video changes slightly.
Yes,
Another
it does.
indication it may have been edited. Zooming in and playing back in slow motion, you can...
By the way, we don't need indications. It's in the metadata. It's not a raw footage. It's not a raw piece of footage at all.
see a slight shift in the shape of the figure standing or sitting around the officer's desk.
Yes, which, I mean, look, if this was important video, maybe I would get hung up about that. But it's like, this is what happens when you got cheap video and stuff. Like, things can happen. You know, it's kind of like those videos where the QAnon people keep showing people with snake eyes because the vertical and the horizontal pixels crisscross during a fade or something, and somebody's eyes look like slits, and they're like, "Told you he was a snake," right? that shit. It's basically like that. It's just a trick of the video, but it doesn't prove that he didn't escape.
But otherwise,
just like Strange Brew. Exactly.
Nothing changes. Attorney General Pam Bondi attributed the missing minute to a nightly reset of the security camera system.
There was a minute that was off the counter, and what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999.
Oh, by the way, apparently that isn't true either. There's a story in the Daily Beast that they have the whole video with the minute in it. They have the original. According to the Daily Beast, we'll see if it comes out. They have the whole video with that minute. I don't know where the fucking minute supposedly went, but this is absolute horseshit. Either she's being lied to, and I think that's the case. I don't think she's looked past any of this stuff. I think she's just saying what she's been told because it's convenient, right? Yeah, this is dumb.
Every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night.
Yeah, that's right. We're looking for video from every night since 1999 to show you that every night at 11:59, it goes right to midnight, and anybody can do anything they fucking want in that 1 minute. If you want to knife a guard and run back to your room, if you can manage to do it in that 1 minute that's been happening since the last millennium, you can do it. All right.
Additional video has not been released, and a government
No, it hasn't. Even though they have fucking 26 years of it. Son of a bitch. Any night in the last 26 years, they could go, see, here's what happened. Here's 2 weeks before that, minute missing. Here's a minute missing. And then people go like, well, why the fuck didn't you fix that? Why'd you put him in that? Oh.
Is alleged to CBS News the FBI and other agencies are in possession of the full, unedited footage. Why the FBI did not release that is unclear, and the agent...
Oh, no, I think it's pretty clear. I'm going to go with this. It's clear. Yeah, I'm going to go. I think it's clear. I think clearly they don't want to.
He offered no comment. Importantly, the Inspector General gives no indication there was a minute missing when their team reviewed the video. We can surmise...
Ooh! Wait, really? So the Inspector General saw the minute, but they cut it from public consumption? Or did they not fucking notice?
The male staffer working the 4 to 12 shift would have left during the missing minute based on the report, leaving just Noel and Thomas. But that is not seen on camera. Serious problems with the government's investigation and witness statements don't end there. The report says the unit was secured by 2 doors, one requiring a key held only by Noel and Thomas. Noel...
Yeah, I'm guessing that's not true either, right? But I'm not a gambling man. But...
Noel told investigators no one could enter without her physically opening that door. But here's where it gets tricky. Let's look at this one example. 4 a.m. Noel remains in full view of the camera, yet seconds later, someone walks in, and it appears neither Noel nor Thomas let her in. The report...
So... Also, real quick, can I just... devil's... I got a lot of names. Devil's advocate here. Why would you have a special unit on the prison where only the guards inside can open the door? Like that just seems like a recipe for hostage taking, right? Maybe somebody outside's the only person, like they have to communicate and they have to go, yeah, you have to open this, and then that person has to clear it and they let you out because they're outside the door. What? Shit.
Is silent on this apparent contradiction.
The butler did it. Guy was like a cross between Alistair Cook and a Cuisinart.
And even if there was no other key, both Noel and Thomas had ample opportunities to let someone in. At least...
Or kill him themselves for a cool $100 million.
A half dozen times, one or the other of them exits the camera frame in the direction of the door, all without explanation.
Well, I think it's the obvious one is that they were opening the door for someone. probably just somebody with a butthole full of drugs.
We shared this with our forensic experts who agreed there was no way to conclusively determine from the video whether
whether that person walking in the black clothes is Jeffrey Epstein leaving the facility with a key that they handed him, just like the key he had to the jail in Florida.
unseen visitor was or was not let into the Epstein unit, although both Noel and Thomas have said no one else entered. At
Oh, well, all right. Sure. Yeah. It's good enough for me.
6:22, either Thomas or Noel walk off screen again and reappear carrying food trays. Breakfast for the prisoners. At this point, based on the autopsy results, Epstein is believed to already be dead.
No, because they were still breathing him when they took him out of the place. People who are dead don't get continued resuscitation. They just don't fucking try. They cover your fucking face with a sheet and they roll you out. But if they wanted people to see your face as you're leaving, they can't just put a sheet over your face. So you gotta breathe in him. Goes, oh, there goes Epstein out of the jail,
According
right?
to Thomas's account, he arrived
Where the fuck did he get all those clothes from?
at Epstein's cell to deliver his breakfast and found him in a seated position. His butt
How does his ass even touch the ground with all those clothes? He could be sitting on those clothes and not be able to hang himself.
an inch from the ground, held up by a torn sheet tied to the bunk bed in his room. At 6:30, someone rushes in from off camera, according to the report. This was Noel returning to the desk to call for help after Thomas discovered Epstein. Epstein's body was quickly removed from the cell. Only Noel and Thomas witnessed him hanging.
So the people that were there all night long, they said they had the key to the door, and they falsified their records and did all that kind of stuff. Those are the only people that saw him hanged. And by the time the help had come out, they had taken him even out of the cell entirely. They didn't just untie him and lay him on the ground from his cell. They took him out into the hallway, which we can't see, and it's totally in trust me, bro, but whatever.
6:40 a.m., the video ends. Epstein's body is not seen being removed. Both Thomas and Noel have said they played...
Yeah, it oddly cuts before they would have taken him down the stairs on a fucking gurney, right? I guess how the fuck did... All right, never mind. Like, what did they do? Fucking shoulder carry him? They just slide him down the goddamn stairs?
No role in Epstein's death. They were charged with falsifying documents, but those charges were dropped as part of a plea deal. Additional clarification could come from a second camera mentioned in the report. It recorded an elevator bank in the same unit, although the report stated that it did not cover areas that would have included access to Epstein's cell. It would at least show a missing minute. We reached out to the department.
Sorry. So the idea is that it would have showed that it misses a minute like the other video. So we could watch this completely different hallway, not related at all, to see if at 11:59 it blinks to midnight. That's helpful. Okay. yeah.
Department of Justice to see about obtaining that footage. They referred us to the FBI, who referred us back to the Department of Justice.
Weird. Oh, God. How can Trump fire J.D. Vance? No, he can't. I mean, he can, I guess Vance can resign and he can be indicted and impeached and removed. But I don't think the president can fire his VP.
Neither Thomas nor Noel
because he was elected too, technically speaking.
Responded to our inquiries through their legal representatives. For a case that demanded transparency, it's yet
Yes, a transparent balcony, or like a banister would have helped on this balcony, because we could have seen that was just a homeless man who unfortunately looked a lot like Jeffrey Epstein and got walked into this fucking death trap.
Another muddled chapter, raising more questions than it answers.
Yeah. Holy shit. Like, I think the best part of that is just like, I mean, there's several great parts. This ridiculousness about the orange that was allegedly the clothes, or it could have been an inmate killing him. Mandatory was pretty hilarious. Anyone entering or attempting to enter the tier where Epstein's cell was located from the SHU common area would have been captured by this footage. Nope. Not at all. There's the entryway. And by the way, that doesn't include anybody who was over here who walks below the visibility of it and past this wall. Like, really, it watches the guards more than anybody else. It's almost like they released this just to show the guards were there all night, because that would quell people's sense of, well, the guards didn't hear anything. The guards didn't run and, they didn't hear him struggling or somebody going, they're paying me to kill you, Jeffrey. Like, they were there at their desk. And so this is like one of those cameras that at a bodega or a convenience store where it's not, you realize it's not actually, it's behind the counter, but it's not pointed at you. It's pointed at the employee so it can see if they're stealing from the till. Yeah. Yeah, this is the entry that supposedly no one can open that she clearly did. Hal, I think the camera missed the shot of the man turning into a railroad and twisting his mustache. I think that's missing from the, yes. So, just, isn't that magical?